Hello friends, welcome back to another video. So today is February 12th. Valentine's Day is in a couple of days. And I was like, you know what? Let's do a little get ready with me and let's talk about being single and how to thrive during a period of being single. I have been single now for over a year, and I feel like for the last year, I've really been super focused on leveling up, using this season to really thrive and decentering men and relationships. Society makes women feel like being single is supposed to be this waiting period, and everything that they do is to help them get a man and find a man and manifest a man. And I'm just like, let's let's decenter men for just a little bit. Let's decenter men. This is our time to thrive. This is our time to focus on ourselves. You should not be self-developing or, improving yourself just to find a man. Matter of fact, you really shouldn't be doing any of this stuff for yourself to get something else outside of a better you. So, while I get ready today, we're going to talk about how to fully embrace singlehood, using this season to thrive, using this season to develop and go after the things that you want for yourself without feeling like you are waiting around for a relationship to complete you. If this is a video topic that resonates with you, like, subscribe, and continue watching. So I didn't have a look in mind for real, you guys. I just was like, let's do a get ready with me and talk about this. I've really been intentional about this stage in my life, and I thought it would be a fun video topic to do. So since I've already done like a natural type of everyday makeup look, I think we're gonna go a little bit heavier today and do maybe like, a brown smoky eye, maybe not like super smoky, but red lips, something super cute. That way, if you do have a Valentine's Day date, either with yourself or with somebody else, you can have a look to inspire you. So first things first, we're gonna start off with base. I've already done my skincare, so we're good there. I am going to start off with foundation. The foundation that I like to use is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. This is in Caracas, Medium Deep 3.3. This is the first foundation that I found that I don't need to mix, that just automatically matches me perfectly. And I think it is the undertone, because my undertone is a little weird. Like, I'm a little bit more neutral, but also slightly yellow. Like, I'm kind of just all over the place. But anyway, so first things first, self-improvement and leveling up during your single period. So some of the things that I personally have been doing during this time is really getting back into fitness. So as you guys know, as I talked in my previous videos, I have been really into Pilates. Well, I got into Pilates last year, and I found that I really, really loved that. I kept that going for pretty much all of last year. I took a break for the holidays. And right now, I'm not in any classes, but I will be resuming. I have started doing more just like at home workouts, and my apartment complex has a 24/7 gym. So I have been utilizing that. And most of the time, I'm not doing anything that's super crazy or super heavy, because I've really just been focused on creating and maintaining a gym routine. After I stopped doing Pilates, I kind of fell out of a movement habit. But one of my goals was to create a consistent but realistic movement habit for myself that, not just is aesthetic focused, because I feel like that's always been a big thing for me. Is fitness has always been about aesthetics, about looking good. And I think that now that I have refocused it on purely just health, what affects my mental health, how it makes me feel, It is a lot more enjoyable and feels like less of a chore. Like I said, I'm not doing anything crazy. Like I'll really just, for example, do, like some yoga or like a at-home Pilates, like a mat Pilates, even though your girl's not. I don't like that Pilates. Definitely for reformer Pilates. Pilates hundreds definitely hit differently when you don't have the reformer with all the springs. But I've also mostly just been taking walks, especially during the midday. So I work from home and during my lunch break, I like to take like a little 30-minute to an hour long walk, usually around like an hour, just, walking around my neighborhood. And I found that not only does it just help me de-stress and decompress, but I feel so much more re-energized to finish out my workday because if you work an office job or work from home, you get that they call it like the 3 p.m. slump where you just get like super tired, you're not motivated, you're not productive, you're kind of just ready to end your workday. And I found that doing that midday walk has really helped me to avoid that and just feel more energized to finish out the rest of my day and to check off the rest of my to-do list. Next, I'm going to go in and do my brows. We're going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel in Ebony, and we're going to use the Rare Beauty Brow Pencil in a soft, I want to say this is soft black. Yeah, soft black. This is my other pencil that the other half is broken, so don't look at that. Recently, to just really focus on myself and my skills is relearning languages. So I have this app that I use. It's called Memrise, and it's kind of like a Duolingo. I'm currently relearning French. My family is Haitian, so a lot of my family speaks French, and I can understand and read French really well, but I'm not that confident in my speaking skills. And I always find myself really like losing my French skills because I don't use it as often as I should. I have made it a point to schedule myself time every single day, just 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes not even that if I'm like super busy. Sometimes it's just a 5 minute, lesson where I just practice my French to stay on top of my vocabulary, pronunciation, and I find that the more that I practice it, the more comfortable I actually feel, speaking to my mom, for example, in French. So that's been really fun. I'm also now going to go in with my concealers. So we're doing a little bit more full coverage of a look today. So we're going to use Walnut and Caramel. So first we're going to go in with Walnut to I don't cover up any extra blemishes. The foundation did a really good job for the most part. So I'm probably just going to use this to clean up my eyebrows and my under eyes. Another thing that I've been really into recently is Sudoku. I love Sudoku, you guys. I used to play Sudoku a lot when I was a kid, and then as life got busier, I didn't have as much time to, solve Sudoku puzzles. So for one of my goals for 2025 was to get back into it. And it's really actually become a part of like my nighttime routine where after I do my evening skincare, shower, and I'm in bed, but I'm not ready to go to sleep yet. I'm in that like winding down period. I'll do a Sudoku puzzle for like an hour or so. And I find that it really just calms my mind down. Like you would think that it would do the opposite because you're solving a puzzle, right? And Sudoku puzzles aren't always that easy, but I find that it's really relaxing. Like just doing a Sudoku puzzle with a cup of tea. Ugh, ugh. And just best night in. I've really been into just like various hobbies, learning languages, focusing on my fitness, and all of those good things. And I'm going to touch on this more later, but it's also really helps me just enjoy my own company. I have never really had an issue with being kind of like a loner. Since I was a kid, I feel like I've always been accustomed to, being on my own, being really independent. But as an adult, I have really found appreciation for my own presence and just enjoying myself and the things that I enjoy and not feeling like I need anybody's approval to like the things that I like. Like I was saying, I'm using this time to just really build my self confidence and different skills, different hobbies, as well as just pouring into myself and really just enjoying spending time alone. It's now gotten to the point where sometimes I don't even want to hang out with friends. Like, I love my friends, don't get me wrong, but I really like spending time with myself. I really do. I took myself out on a sushi date the other night, and it was so nice, you guys, just to sit there at that restaurant and enjoy this delicious and beautifully crafted sushi dinner with no interruptions, not having to hold a conversation, not having to tell a story or catch anybody up on your life, and just people watch. Like, I had the best time and I need to do that more. Like, I need to take myself out on these dates more. Like, I think my next one's probably gonna be like a little self brunch and museum date. And again, don't get me wrong, I love hanging out with my friends. They pour into my cup in different ways, but it just hits different when you can go out to dinner by yourself and just enjoy your food, enjoy the texture, enjoy how it tastes, enjoy the ambiance of whatever restaurant that you're at, and just relax, and not think about 5 million things and not have so many things running through your head. So that segues me into the next topic, which is self love and healing and being content alone. Because listen, if you're not happy by yourself, you're not going to be satisfied within a relationship. It's going to cause codependency, and you're going to find yourself looking for something in somebody else that's been within you this entire time. And if you are that person that has a really hard time being by themselves, you can't, not be in a relationship, you got to snap out of that. You got to snap out of that, girl. But look, you're not alone. A lot of us have been there. A lot of us have had those phases where, we look for validation in other people, we look for validation in men. For my first relationship, I really wanted to be in a relationship because I had never experienced being in a serious relationship. I had dated a lot of people, but I had never found anybody that I felt like was boyfriend material, or, I actually was in a long-term relationship with. And my last relationship was my first ever like long-term relationship. And obviously it ended, but I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about what I deserved, but I also learned that I am sometimes better off single. Sometimes you're better off single, for real. I went into that relationship, and looking back, because hindsight is always 2020, and I'm not about to bash my ex or anything, but looking back, there were some red flags. I feel like the me then, and this would have been like 3 years ago-ish now, the me now wouldn't have gotten into that relationship. But the me back then still was not fully comfortable with herself, still was seeking validation in others, and was yearning for something. And I feel like I don't regret the relationship because I learned a lot, but if it was me now, I definitely wouldn't have. It probably would have never happened. So, with that being said, these last couple of years since I broke up with my ex has been a time of healing, a time of genuinely working on myself, working on my emotional health, working on my, mental state, and realizing that I need to, one, set strong boundaries, but two, stand 10 toes down on them. We're gonna go in with the Juvia's Place. This is their cream bronzer in amber. I love this bronzer, you guys. It has a little bit of a slight shimmer, but I really can't see it once I apply it on my like actual skin. We're gonna go, I'm a little paler than usual because it's winter time, so we're gonna go a little heavy. Anyway, as I was saying, this has been a time for me to really heal from past relationships, past situationships, and really recognize how I was doing myself a disservice by accepting the bare minimum, sometimes accepting absolutely nothing, pouring into people, whether it was romantically or just in general, when I was not getting what I needed back from other people. And realizing that I also can't pour from an empty cup, realizing that I was a people pleaser, just all of these things, y'all. It was the year of realizing things. I realized a lot of things. And I decided that that wasn't going to be my story anymore. I wasn't going to allow myself to seek validation from anybody else. I wasn't going to allow myself to let other people control my emotions. I remember back in my former relationship, it was really, really hard for me to regulate my emotions. And the arguments that we would have and the toxicity of the overall relationship didn't help that. So I could be having a good day and he would do something that I would perceive that, I wouldn't like, and then suddenly my day is ruined. And a part of it was because, I wasn't emotionally regulated. And I allowed him to trigger me because I hadn't healed myself from those triggers and I hadn't recognized that our relationship was toxic because he was using things that he knew would trigger me against me. We fell into this cycle, and even though I should have probably ended the relationship sooner, I didn't have strong enough boundaries to say to myself, girl, this isn't working out. So I really started working on myself and setting those strong boundaries. And that's, but yeah, like I was saying, um, it was a situation where the relationship probably should have ended earlier or sooner, and probably would have, but I had to learn a lesson, which was you cannot allow other people to regulate your emotions for you. You cannot allow other people's actions to dictate how you feel just about things in general, but also how you feel about yourself. You cannot, especially, allow a man to take you away from yourself or to, you know, you're pouring into him in this toxic relationship that will not get better because because he's not going to get better. He doesn't want to get better. Now you are not doing the things that you used to do for yourself. You're not pouring into yourself, and you are self-sabotaging. Well, not even self-sabotaging, like you are just not taking care of yourself because you are trying to take care of a man who isn't reciprocating. So that's why I say the me of today would have never been in that relationship to begin with. But again, I don't necessarily regret it because I learned a lot about myself and it's made me it helped make me, I should say, into the person that I am today. But it is so important that regardless of whether you want to get into another relationship or not, that you work on healing the past traumas, and actually having a period of singlehood allows you to do that. There are so many times where, especially as women, we jump from relationship to relationship because of societal pressure, family pressure, our own insecurities, and it doesn't give us the opportunity to really sit back and self-reflect and understand, okay, why are these relationships not working? What is it that I need to be doing more? What is it that I need to be doing less? So this time period of my life has really allowed me to examine, you know, not just that relationship, but other dating experiences that I've had and where I have allowed myself to settle. I don't want to do a red blush. I don't have a red blush. So I'm going to mix the Glossier Cloud Paint. What color is this? Haze. And the Rare Beauty Blush and Joy. I don't know if this is gonna make red, but it's gonna make something. Setting standards, boundaries is really important. And if you, again, like I said, do decide that you want to get back into the dating game, it is so important that you have standards and non-negotiables and you do not flinch. I don't care who it is, okay? No man is worth you betraying yourself and betraying the things that you want for yourself. It's never going to be worth it, you guys. I promise it's never going to be worth it. And if you're with somebody currently and you're not happy, you need to ask yourself, I'm not saying break up, but you need to ask yourself, have I betrayed myself? Have I gone against my non-negotiables? Have I gone against my boundaries? Because life's too short to be in a relationship with someone that, if the relationship ain't relationship-ing, then what's the point? Like, that's kind of just how I see it. Life's too short to be in a relationship with somebody that's not giving you what you need. And honestly, that goes for both girls and guys. Like, if you are not getting what you need out of the relationship and you're pouring and pouring and pouring and giving and giving and giving and none of this being reciprocated, you don't stay, because all you're doing is allowing that person to suck the life out of you. And you're going to be left with nothing. Ask yourself this. If that man or that woman that you lay next to every single night never changed, okay, because another issue is that, y'all be falling in love with potential. I used to do the same thing. So, all love, but y'all be falling in love with potential. And you have to ask yourself, if that man or that woman never changes, nothing changes about them, they are still going to be the same way 10 years from now that they are now, is it worth staying? Like, would you be willing to stay if nothing changes? And if the answer is no, then maybe you need to reevaluate some things, maybe reevaluate if that person is really your person. Because I also think too, some of y'all be delusional. And I used to be delusional, so I get it. Some of y'all be delusional and, you be thinking that, just because this person on paper, has all the things, or what they tell you sounds nice, like you make them your person or you make them your soulmate, or, oh, this is the man that I manifested. He's not. He's not, girl. And I'm telling you right now, he's not. Okay, so leave that man alone before God make him your baby daddy, and then you really gonna be stuck. So next I'm using the Laura Mercier Translucent Honey Powder. We're gonna powder our under eyes. You need to heal from your past relationships before you get stuck in another toxic one, you guys. Go to therapy. If you can't afford therapy, start journaling. If you don't like to write, pray. If you don't believe in God, then, talk to ChatGPT. I don't fucking know. Find a way to heal. Okay, find a way to heal. Like, that's really it. Find a way to heal from your toxic relationship patterns. Decenter men from your life, you guys. I'm not saying hate men, because I don't hate men, and I love love. Trust me. But as women, it's so important to decenter those things, because our entire existence does not revolve around, having a man or having children or, all of the things that, a patriarchal society tells us that our existence surrounds. It's, there's so much more to life. And when I really think about it, my relationship is nowhere near the most exciting thing that's ever happened in my life, though. So thus far, my former relationship, is not even, really an accomplishment. No shade to him, like, for real. It's just when I think about all the things I've done in my life, all the experiences that I've had, it's like, there's so much more, you know? Like, there's so many places to go. There's so many different types of people to meet. Think of all the food that there is to eat out there. You know, all the things that you have to experience. And you're worried about finding a man? But no, like I said, I love love and I am open to love, but I'm not going to sit around and wait for it and act like, my life can't continue just because I don't have a man. I'm not going to avoid going to certain events or enjoying myself in certain scenarios because I don't have a boyfriend. If you are doing that, you're doing yourself a disservice because what if you never find a man? What if you never find your person? What if your person doesn't exist? So then you spent your whole life waiting around for a man that ain't never gonna be there. Isn't that crazy? That's absolutely crazy. So don't be crazy, don't be delusional. Take this time to focus on yourself because you have the ability to, especially if you don't have any kids, you really have the ability to just like do whatever you want, travel wherever, eat whatever, focus on whatever. Like, this has been such a time of like creativity for me. It's been great. It's been great, you guys. Like, I'm almost scared to get into a relationship now because I'm afraid that having a man in my life will distract me from all the great things that I got going on. Like, that's where I'm at now. I don't know if that's necessarily like a healthy way of thinking about it either, but that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I just have so many great things going on that like I do not want a man to come in and ruin all of that for me. So I like how my base is looking. That blush was a little scary at first, y'all, but you see how I pulled it off? Your girl did it good. I usually don't wear eyeshadow for real, but since we're doing a little bit of a more glamorous look, we're gonna use Huda Beauty's Coral Obsessions. I think we're gonna go in with this like middle nude brown all over the lid. One of the perks to being single is just you have so much more free time to do the things that you enjoy and to truly just focus on yourself. My life has been so drama free. It's been so nice, you guys. I have been having such a time. And I think sometimes, like with my friends, I might come off as like the boring friend because I don't have any, I don't have a man in my phone getting on my nerves. But I like it like that, I do. I like having a boring life. I like having my routine. I like getting up and not having to answer to anybody. Just like that peace and quiet that just comes with solitude. I don't know if you guys are getting what I'm saying, but the girls that get it. The girls that don't, you'll get it eventually. But it's just been so peaceful and it's been really nice to just have a period of time where I can really just be obsessed with my own self development. When you're single, you have the time to do that because you're not worried about somebody else. You're not having to, deal with yours, whatever shit you got going on and somebody else's shit that they got going on. If you're in a good relationship, then that person is there to add to your life and also to support you. But let's be for real. A lot of y'all are in bad relationships. A lot of us get caught up in bad relationships. And especially when you're in a bad relationship, you don't have the time, I remember like looking back at pictures of myself when I was partnered. I didn't look as good. Like I really didn't. I felt like I looked older. I looked more swollen. My skin looked crazy. Being single has been really a glow up period. This is looking very pretty. I kind of want to do a little eyeliner, but I'm not going to use black. I'm going to use brown. I need to do a video about color analysis and color seasons because y'all, I have really gotten into my color season. I'm a dark autumn And I have been really playing that up in my clothes and in the colors that I use for my makeup and all that good stuff. And if you're not doing that, you need to start, because the color analysis girlies, they know what they're talking about. So I'm just using this brown eyeliner. It's from Wet n Wild, and literally just applying it to my inner corner just to make that inner corner a little bit sharper. And then we're also going to use it to give ourselves a little bit of an outer corner wing just to lift it up just a little tiny itty bit. Being single and this period of singleness has really just been a time of leveling up. And it can be a time of leveling up for you as well. You just have to be really intentional about it. You know, really realizing that relationships just aren't always what they're cut out to be. This is the NYX lip liner in Espresso. You see, I be using this. This is my favorite lip liner, like, ever. I'm gonna do a red lip though today. So I'm really just using this to contour the lips. Crazy, I'm not even going anywhere after this, you guys. Like, I'm probably just gonna go to the gym. Probably just gonna go to the gym for real. To dating. So, like I was saying, you know, healing from your past relationships, healing from your trauma, because believe it or not, you get into a relationship and you haven't healed, it's gonna come out. You might be in a good relationship and you're sabotaging it because you haven't healed from your issues. So, healing, take this time to heal. Take this time to be intentional about your healing and be intentional about bettering yourself for the sake of yourself. And when you are ready to go back into dating, don't fall into the desperation trap. This is Lime Crimes plushie in Jam, this like pretty dark red. When you are ready to get back into dating, don't fall into that desperation trap of, you know, just accepting whatever. Because now, you know, you're taking this time to, you know, you're taking your single period to really glow up. You've leveled up with your mindset. You've changed how you view yourself, but also how you view and navigate relationships. So you need to really put that into action. Do not, do not allow anybody to step all over your boundaries or step all over your standards. And don't let anybody make you feel like your standards are too high. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use a Charlotte Tilbury walk of shame on top of this. Matter of fact, your standards are probably too low. Let's be for real. Your standards are probably too low as they are. So don't let anybody make you feel like the standards that you have, you're asking for too much. You're not. You're not. And I feel like people have this idea like, oh, well, you know, if you have all these standards, it's going to be hard for you to find somebody. Okay, it might be hard, but all I need is one person. I don't need, you know, every man to like me. I just need to find the one. I'm for the few, not the many. Stick to your standards, stick to your boundaries. If that person is not adding to your life in a manner that is helping you grow, in a manner that is productive, in a manner they're not adding to you spiritually, physically, financially, mentally, all of that, it's okay to find better. It really is. It should be an addition, not the entire equation. The relationship should be adding to your life and not taking away from it. And if it starts to take away from it, then what's the point of the relationship? You know what I mean? Like, men are always asking us, what do we bring to the table? What do y'all bring to the table? What does he bring to the table, sis? Nothing? Okay, then you got your answer. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Sorry if this video was kind of all over the place. I didn't plan to make this video at all. I actually have another video planned, but I'm gonna record that and release that probably sometime not next month, the week after next. I'm traveling next week. So the video that I was going to do will come later. But remember, being single isn't a punishment, okay? It's an opportunity to thrive. It's an opportunity to work on yourself. It's an opportunity to enjoy your own company, really figure out who you are and what you want, and all of those good things. So, if this video resonated with you, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.